Taking passport and visa photos is a good way to learn how to take photos in the studio using studio equipment. First of all, for passport photography, you need a white background or a light gray, non-reflective background. In this case, this is PVC. If you have a wall that's white or light gray, you can use that, or even just a uniform color if you want to remove that color in post, that's possible. And then I have the stands to go with the background and the clips to hold the background. The other thing that you'll need is something for your clients to sit on. So this is a small stool, and you can always take the photographs with them standing, but I like the stool because it gives the client somewhere to relax while you're taking the photograph. And then in this setup I have 2 speed lights and 2 modifiers. These modifiers, this one is an umbrella, and an umbrella allows you to shoot through it and soften the light so that you don't have harsh shadows on the face. And so I'm going to set up 2 of them. I've already set up this one. This is a Godox TT600 flash, and it's going to be controlled by this Godox flash controller. On this stand I'm going to put a Yangno, so they're different, and my Yangno is set to optical sync mode. So when this flash goes off, I've set this one to be triggered by the light of that flash. You're going to need 2 stands to hold your speed lights and something to mount the speed light on, something like this. So I put that in there. I already have my flash settings done, and then this is my second umbrella. A softbox is even better. The idea is just to soften the light. So this holder has a place for sticking in your umbrella like this. And you want to align the front part of your speed light with the edge of your umbrella. That way the flash uses the whole umbrella and your light is soft. If you put it too close like this, you're only just going to be shooting into the center of the umbrella and the rest is not being used. So make sure this aligns with the edge, something like this. Tighten that. And then what you want to do is have these at about 45-degree angle downwards towards your subject. So they're facing 45 degrees towards your subject, and they're about 45 degrees away from your camera. This is a very small space, so it might not be quite exact, but this will work. Now we come to the camera itself. I'm using a Canon EOS R. The distance that you're going to be from your subject depends on the lens that you're going to be using. In this case, this is a very small space, so I have my focal length set to about 60 millimeters. But generally for headshot photography, you want to use around 85 to 100 millimeter lens, but that will mean you need to be further back. Don't use wide angle. Don't go below 35 millimeters, or I would say even try not to go below 50 millimeters, because below 50 millimeters you start getting distortion of the face. So if you're really squeezed for space, go from about 50 millimeters, focal length. I have a flash trigger on the camera that's going to control one of the flash units, and then that flash unit is going to trigger this one by its own light. So when I do this and this goes off, this recognizes that the flash has gone off and goes off at the same time. You may want a tripod, but some people just shoot handheld for passport photography. But for consistency of framing, and if you're doing a lot of work, having a tripod really helps to save you from doing that much work. So I have mine on a tripod, and that's the setup. That's the setup, and what's left now is to take the photo. Basically what you want is a nice uniform white background and nice uniform lighting on your subject for a nice professional passport photo. Okay, we're done with the setup. Now let's take a photo. I'm going to use my app to take a selfie. The settings on my camera are aperture priority, because I'm going to set the aperture at f11 to get the maximum depth of field so that everything is in focus. And then I have my ISO at ISO 100 to minimize the noise, and then the camera will decide for me what the shutter speed is going to be. Okay, so here we go. And there you are, a very basic passport or visa photo setup in a small space like this one. And you'll notice that this same setup can be used for other things like corporate headshots or even just any other photography in the studio.